Hey, folks. Dave back again here tonight. Kind of sneaking on a little late night here. I know we had a stream earlier. We recorded the show tonight and we chatted with you guys, but I wanted to come back on. I wanted to play something. Remember, I had talked about on the show that I need to play something. And I pulled out the Mike Selock baseball game. Sorry about the camera here. I got it aiming down. You'll see that in 1 second. So I did pull out the Mike Selock baseball game, went over it. I actually went back and watched an old video of mine. It looked like I was playing it correctly. So I want to kind of play this again. And so I pulled out the 1978 season. There's not a ton of seasons. I wish he would make more because this is a great game. So let me show you where you can find this. So if you go here to the replay Field of Dreams, all right, let me see if I can make that a little bit better for you here. Which one is that? Maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know. Or can I go like that? Yeah, maybe like that. So anyway, you go to here, sportsreplays.net, and then you go to, I think it's page 3, downloads page 3. And if you scroll down here, you can see Mike Selock's excellent games here. That's where you want to go. And you got his games here, his indoor soccer, lacrosse. Then you got the hockey game. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 11 hockey seasons. He's got basketball. He's got a lot of basketball here, including some NCAA. Then he's got his new pick and roll basketball game here, which I need to play. And then he's got his football. This is the 2-minute drill, which I really like. So he's got a bunch of NCAA teams, and he's got a ton of football seasons. I've been playing a lot of the 70s and 80s here, but he goes all the way up to 22. So he's still making seasons all the way up to 22. So that's kind of cool. CFL, I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's Canadian football. Interesting. And then down here is the hit and run baseball, by the way. And this is what I'm doing here. So it looks like his last update was back in 2020. So it's been a while since he updated, but he got a handful of seasons here. I grabbed, 67 through 87. I think that's my wheelhouse here. But he does, 2021, he did make 2020. So he needs to get back to some of this here. But anyway, that's where you can find it, sportsreplays.net. Go to downloads page 3, and you get all the Mike Selock games here. And that's, so I enjoy these games. So we're going to play it tonight here. We're going to play it on the tabletop. Last time I set up on a spreadsheet so you could see everything. I'm just, tonight, I'm going to just kind of chill out here and roll some dice here on the table. So you're going to get the overhead view. So I'm going to go overhead here. Let's see if that works out. All right, something like that might work, I think. And so all I did is I printed out the spreadsheet. All right, so and I got the American League and the National League here, and I added this for myself. So what I did is this just reminds me when to put in the relief pitcher so I don't cheat. So anytime you give up 7 runs, the pitcher's out. If he gives up 5 to 6 runs, I'll let him go 6, and then I yank him, and then obviously 3 to 4, 7, and all the way up to I'm just going to let him keep pitching if he doesn't give up any runs. That's just kind of that, and I did the same thing over here. This is my thing I added, by the way. But all the teams are here, and how you do it. Again, I did a better video. It shows the cards a little bit better. But so I'm playing the Red Sox 78, and this is opening day against Chicago White Sox. So how you do it here is you have an offensive rating, a starting pitching rating, and a relief pitcher rating. And there's a number, and then in parentheses. So for the Red Sox, I'll read it to you because I won't be able to show it to you. It says offense +1, 12. That means if I roll this 20-sided die here, and it's 12 or less, their rating will be +1 for the day. Otherwise, it's a 0 offense. And the same with the starting pitching. If I can roll, it's a 12. 12 or less, and the starting pitching will be -1. So that's good. You want to roll low, and you want to get these numbers because that's going to go up or down from 0, and you want to get the highest number for offense and the lowest number for defense. And then you get a relief pitching rating too, which I like. So this is -1 if I roll 13 or less. Now for the White Sox, they're a little bit different. Because they're home, they got a +1 here. So every number here I'm going to add +1 to, see if they can give them a little home field advantage. So their offense is 0 unless I roll 11 or less, and then that'll be it'll bump up. And then the starting pitches is 0 unless I roll 11. +1 is a 12. So again, it's just kind of how it is. It's a little setup. So what I ended up doing here is the Sox didn't roll well. They rolled over 12, so their offense is 0. The starting pitching I rolled over 12, so their starting pitching is 0. And then for the relief pitcher, I rolled low, so they will get the -1 on the relief pitcher. For Chicago, I rolled low, and they got +1 on the offense. Didn't roll that good for the starting pitching. That's a 0, but I did roll well for the relief pitching, so they're -1. So then you have your adjustment here, your adjusted offense. So it's much like a Downey game, if you will. So the Boston offense against the starting pitcher is 0 and 0, so it's 0. But against the relief pitcher, it'll be -1. So every roll of the dice, I'll be subtracting 1 against the relief pitcher. And again, I'm going to try to use my relief pitcher chart to be fair. For Chicago, their offense will be +1 all day, okay, until I go to the relief pitcher, which then I'll bring it back down to 0. And, David C. stops by. He says he liked episode 239. Yeah, every now and then we do a fireside chat, we call it. We just kind of open it up to whatever we want to talk about and just, gets caught up in a few things and, talk about things like Pete Rose and the whole bit. So what's going to happen now is against the starting pitching, again, the Sox are at 0. If I can show you the score sheet here, the Sox are at 0, and Chicago is a +1 against the starting pitcher of the Sox. So what's going to happen is I'm going to roll my dice for the Sox. I'm not going to add anything. I'm going to take a straight up roll. For Chicago, I will add 1. Then you come over here, and you got the innings. Right? I don't know if you can see that, but it's going to go 1 to 9 and then extra innings. Anything from 11 to 20 is a possibility on scoring. And again, I did a pretty good video. Just search Hit and Run by Mike Selock, and I put it up on the spreadsheet. But yeah, you roll 1 dice, and if you get runs, you get runs, and that's it. There's not a lot to it. So let's play here. And again, I'm just kind of having you looking over my shoulder tonight while I play. This is not supposed to be a tutorial or anything. This is just me kind of playing. I've been dying to play something. And finally, I'm going to play. All right, so the Red Sox are up first. We're in Chicago. This is game 1 of the season. So we're in the first inning. And a 9 is going to be 0. Because, again, you need at least an 11 to get runs for any team. So we go to the bottom of the first. And a 7, that's going to be 0. So after 1, it's absolutely nothing to absolutely nothing. A 16 in the second for the Red Sox. So a 16 in the second for the Sox is going to give them 1 run. So the Sox are on the board. And all these are different, by the way. None of these charts, I don't think any of these charts are the same. It all reflects on what they did that season, okay? So all these grids will be different for each team. So the White Sox get a 3, so that'll be nothing. So the Sox lead 1-0 after 2. 4 in the third is nothing. And you see how fast this plays. A 16 for the White Sox in the third. So we come over here. 16 is going to be, that's going to be good for 1 run. All righty. And that Bailey got it again. They needed a 16 to get 1. Anything less than that would have been nothing. So we're tied at 1-1. A 17 for the Sox in the fourth. And a 17 is good for another run for the Red Sox. So they're leading this one 2-1. 2 is absolutely nothing. So we go to the fifth. So both pitchers are okay because it's only 2-1. So we're going to leave both starting pitchers in. 15 for the Sox. That should be good for a run in the fifth. And yeah, that's going to get them 1 more. So now it's 3-1 for the Red Sox. And the White Sox with a 9. Absolutely nothing. 14 for the Sox in the sixth. Does that get us anything? A 14? No. Nice try, but they left too many men on base. That's how I'm going to call that. The White Sox with an 11, and I don't think that 11 gets them anything in any inning. So, nope. All righty. So it's 3-1 going to the seventh. So we're going to let the White Sox pitcher go this inning, and then we're going to take him out. All right. So the Sox with a 12 in the seventh. And nope, that's going to be nothing. All righty. Oh, I'm supposed to be adding 1 to the White Sox here, but I don't think that really mattered because that 16 and 17 are the same. And then that other inning, they got I forgot to add that. I know I was going to make a mistake, but it didn't change. I think it kept all the numbers the same. Yeah, that 1 run, that was a 16, right? So that 16 would have been 17. That still would have been 1. Okay, so I did make a mistake, but it didn't really matter too much. All right, so the bottom of the seventh. So the Sox pitcher is still a 0 here. So we're adding 1. So let me make sure I add the 1 this time. Oh, that's going to be a big deal. That's a 19. In the bottom of the seventh, a 19 is going to be good for 2 runs. Oh, so it's 3-3. and we are tied. So now I need to go to the relief pitches because, again, once they hit 3 to 4 runs, they can only go 7 in my rules. So we're going to go to the 8th inning in relief pitches now. So that's good for the Sox because that's going to bring a -1 in. So now it'll be a 0. I won't be adding one for Chicago, but the relief pitcher for Chicago is a -1 as well. So the Sox go from 0 to -1. So every roll I subtract 1 for the Sox now. All right, so it's 3 to 3 in the 8th. We subtract 1 and 8, and that's going to be absolutely nothing. Now I'm not adding any more for Chicago because, again, Sox relief pitcher subtracts that bonus of 1. And, a 16 for the Sox in the 8th. The White Sox in the 8th, a 16. That's going to be good for a run. So we go to the 9th. And they've given up 4. So so we're already on our relief pitches. It doesn't matter anyway. All righty. So the Sox now will be subtracting 1 on their roll, and they trail 4 to 3. Here we go. They need a big roll. Oh, they almost got to 20. And they will lose this one on opening day. A nice comeback win here in the 7th and 8th inning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 3. And I think the final score, actually, when I went to this here, was 6-5 White Sox. So it was 4-3 White Sox. That was pretty close, right? That's pretty close. All right, so I'm going to set up the next game here. And again, the players don't really matter. It's just kind of general team ratings because it's kind of a quick play game. All right, so Boston and Chicago again. So let's roll again. So Boston now, I need a 1 to 12 for some better hitting. And nope, I got a 16. So their offense is still going to be 0, off to a slow start. Now, the starting pitching, is it 1 to 12? No. I'm rolling terrible for them. Now, the relief pitching is 13. And I just got it. So we got the same ratings as the first game, 0, 0, and -1. Now, Chicago. So they're home, so I will add 1. So I have a 12 or less. No. So their starting pitching is not as good today. What I like about this, it kind of reminds me of shootout hockey where you roll for the goalies to see if the goalies have you add 1 or subtract 1 from the goalies. Just gives it a little bit of something there. I do like that. And then I think you roll from the offense too. I know you roll for the offense, but sometimes the goalies. And it just gives you that, are you a B or you a C? I like that. All right, so the starting pitching, a 12. 2. Yep. So we're going to be a +1 on the starting pitching, and the relief is 13. And no, so they're going to have a good starter, but no relief here. So the pitcher is -1. All right. So now Boston, they're going to be rolling -1. Get my red pen here. So they're going to be going -1 until the reliever comes in, and then they're going to go back to 0. And Chicago, they're going to be rolling 0. So no increase until they get the release pitcher, and then they're going to be -1. So it's going to be a little reversal here. And ID comes by. ID, I was watching the video I did this years ago, and you were the one in the chat room watching me play this game. And it must have been in the morning because I was drinking coffee, so you were in chatting with me. I forget how long ago that was, but so all right. So this is game 2 of the Red Sox in 1978. And again, you need to get 11 or better to at least get a run. Now, let me just kind of quicken things up here. So for the Red Sox, I need to get at least a 13 to get any kind of runs. And over here, I got to get, oh boy, for Chicago, I need a 15. So 13 and 15 are my magic numbers to check. Yeah, you'd see me play this before. This is Mike Selock's Hit and Run Baseball. This is just fun. And this is just a PDF I printed out. It's an Excel sheet. I made a PDF and printed it out, so I have all the cards here. And it's just 1 to 9, and then what the dice roll is. All right, so we're in the top of the first. Red Sox 16. That should be good for some runs. That's gonna be 2 runs for the Sox. Oh no, wait. Yeah, no, it -1. Okay, so it's gonna be a 15. So that goes from a 2 to a 1. So because the starting pitching is decent, that 2 moves it to a 1 because I drop it down 1. So Sox get a run. They lead 1-0. It's going to be no adjustment for Chicago, and they get a 15. And that's still going to be nothing for Chicago, even though that was a good roll. All right, so Sox lead 1-0. And an 11. And again, we said that's going to be nothing here for the Sox. So bottom of the second. A 12. And I don't think nothing for the Sox, the White Sox. Oh, it's 1-0 Red Sox after 2. And 11 for the Sox. And that's not going to get them a run in the third. In the third for Chicago. Oh, a 20. All right. So they're going to get, in the third, they're going to get at least 4 runs. So now I need to roll again. And it's a 13. So that's going to get them 4. Okay. No, I'm sorry, 3. Yep, they're going to get 3. So that's the best they can do there in the third inning. So 3 runs, and it's 3-1 as Gary comes by. And Gary says, I have some of these, and they do offer a different way to play. Yeah, it's just usually a quick one or two dice roll type of thing. I love the football game. I've played a whole season of that, just rolling every single game. I've really enjoyed that. I think that's 4 rolls. It's roll for the first half for each team, and then the second half for each team. And you look at the other team's defensive ratings at some point in that game. That's a super fun game. I played so many Tampa Bay Buccaneer replays with that. It's not been funny. All right, so top of the fourth, 3-1 for the White Sox, and a 5 is going to be absolutely nothing. So now the White Sox come up, and a 7, that's going to be nothing. So we go to the fifth, 3-1 White Sox, and a 1 is nothing for the Red Sox. And, a 17 in the fifth. And that's going to be good for 1. So now it's 4-1 White Sox. And now we said we can go through the 7th here with 4 runs. So the starting pitchers are still in. Again, I'm subtracting 1 for the Red Sox. So a 6 is going to be nothing. So they're not bringing their best here into Chicago. A 16 in the 6th. That's going to be another run here. Yeah, so they're going to tack on another one. So right now, that's going to be 5-1 for the White Sox. So now, so now we got to take out the starting pitcher. So the relief pitcher will come in for Boston, which is not good for them because their starting pitcher, it is good for them. Their relief pitcher is the -1. It's bad for Chicago. All right, so we're in the top of the 7th. Only 1 run in, so it's still the starting pitcher, so it's still going to be -1 for the Red Sox. And an 18 is going to be a 17 here in the 7th. And a 17 is going to be good for 1. So the Sox get 1. And so now it's 5-2. So now it's the relief pitcher's in for the Red Sox because they've given up 5 runs and we're past the 6th inning. So against the relief pitcher, it's a -1 for the White Sox. And a 17 is going to be a 16, but that should still be runs. And that's going to be good for 1 run. So we got 6-2 as we go to the 8th. And so now it's still so in the 8th, it's still going to be the starting pitcher. So it's going to be -1. 14 is a 13 for the Red Sox in the 8th. And a 13 is absolutely nothing. So now they're in some trouble going down 0-2 to start the season. And an 11 is going to be no runs in the 8th. And that doesn't matter. That's going to be it's going to be -1. So that'd be a 10. So it's going to be no runs. Here it is. And so we're going to take the pitcher out because we did give up 2 runs. So I'm going to go to the relief pitcher now. So the relief pitcher. So for the Red Sox, it's no adjustment, but they need a big inning here. They're down 6-2. They need probably a 20. And nope, they get it. Nothing. And that'll do it. So the Sox fall again. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-2. So the Red Sox are 0-2 on the season. And they started 0-2. They had 6-5 losses, back-to-back 6-5 losses. So this is right on pace. And it was, so ID says, this is a fun game. Again, it's free and it's fun. I wish he had more seasons because it's so fun. Gary says, I have some of these and they offer a different way to play. Yeah, they do. Kind of historical. This seems like a great game, but there should be an extra part of the game with maybe starting lines for each teams. Well, again, this is where we are here. This is a generic game with generic team ratings. Not generic teams, but just general team ratings. Okay, again, you start adding players and stuff like that. Now you start getting into longer play games. This is designed just to be a quick, fun, fast play game. And that's why I go to the Mike Selock games, because I'm not worried about batting orders and I'm not worried about this. It's just a general team rating. All right, so let's try this again for the Sox. Let's see if they can get some better pitching. So we need a 1 to 12. No, it's the third time, 3 for 3. I've rolled higher than a 12, which is great for runs, but not when you're setting up your offense. So their offense is a 0. Starting pitching, again, 12 again. 10, they'll get it. All right, so the starting pitching is -1, so that's good. And the relief pitching is 13, and 11, they will have -1 in the relief. So they're going to have some good pitching. The batting, not so well today. Chicago, I need a 12 or less. No. So their pitching is, their offense rather, is a 0 as well. I need 12 or less. Yep. So they will be -1. And the relief pitcher is going to be 13 or less. Yep. So it's going to be exactly the same in this one. So each team will be -1 roll the whole game. So against the starting pitcher and the relief, -1 for both teams. Okay, so let's see how they do in the third game of the set. See if they can salvage one here. All right. The Red Sox batting first. And they roll a 4, and that will be nothing. So they start off with a goose egg. Chicago White Sox with a 5. They get nothing as well. Oh, 20 for the Sox. So that's going to be good for 4. And if I get another 20, it's going to be good for 6. Nope. So they get 4 runs. That's a big second inning as the Red Sox get 4 runs and they lead 4-0. Chicago with a 16. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, something. Oh, no, I was wrong. I have to -1. I have to -1. So that 4 is going to be a 3. I'm forgetting that I have to subtract. So that 4 is a 3. That's my bad. All right, so that's a 3. So they roll a 16 -1 is a 15. And a 15 in the second is, nope, that's nothing. So 3-0 Sox. I always forget that I have to factor in these here as well. So it's a -1 all game long, no matter what, starting or relief pitching. So I don't even got to worry about the relief pitches in this game. A 2 is nothing. So this game should go pretty quick. A 7 is nothing. So still 3-0 Red Sox. So that 20 again turned into a 19. So that 4 turned back into a 3. Turned back into a pumpkin. 11 for the Red Sox. -1 is a 10. So that's nothing. 9 -1 is nothing. So still 3-0. 4 -1 is a 3. Ooh, 4 -1 is a 3. So nothing, nothing, nothing. 13 -1 is a 12. In the 6 for the Red Sox, a 12. Nope, that's still nothing. So 3-0 Sox. Trying to hang on here. And a 19 -1, that's an 18. That should get him a run. In the 7th, an 18. And that is good for 1 in the 7th. Oops, sorry. 1. So it's, boy, I'm messing this all up. 4-0 Red Sox, bottom of the 7th. 15 -1 is a 14. So in the 7th, a 14. No, that's going to be nothing for the White Sox. So we go to the 8th. And again, I don't have to worry about, using my chart here to bring in the relief pitcher because they're all -1. So there's no change. So the only time I'd really have to worry about that is if anything was different, like in the first 2 games. In here, it was better for the Sox to go to the relief pitcher, or rather the White Sox for the, whatever. I'm screwing this all up. How about the Tigers? Oh, did the Tigers win? Nice. The Tigers won. Who'd they beat? Houston? I forget who played who. Was that? Who did they play? I can't follow all that stuff. All right, so we're going to go to the top of the 8th now. And again, I don't have to worry about pitchers right now or relief pitchers because everything's all the same. 14 -1 is a 13 in the 8th. And no. So we go to the 9th. Red Sox up 4-0, trying to get it here. And no runs for them. All right, so they're going to need a big inning here. They're going to need 20 here to force things. And they get it, but we still -1, so that's a 19. So they can't win the game. So they gained 2. That's 2. So a good inning. That's too bad they didn't get the 20 knocks it away because of the pitching, the relief pitching. So they get 2. And that was a good one, though. 4-2 for the Red Sox. The Red Sox get a win here over the White Sox. And then in real life, that's kind of how it panned out. The Sox lost, and then won. So now the Sox go to Cleveland for 2. Right? Is that what it is? At Cleveland for 2. So we got Boston at Cleveland. And we'll see what we got here. And Beatles comes by. Hi, Beatles. Been watching some of your stuff late at night. I don't chat too much late at night, but I do listen. All right, so now Boston on the road again. And so, again, it's a 12. So 1-12, and we go from everyone starts at a 0. And then you look at the team cards here, and you can add to the offense and subtract from the pitching, which is, again, you want high numbers for offense and low numbers for defense. So that's how you'd want it. So a 1-12. Wow, I am 0 for 4 in rolling 1-12 for the Red Sox offense. So their offense will remain 0. Pitching 1-12. Yep, so their starting pitching is -1. Relief pitching 1-13. 5. Yeah, so they got the pitching today, but the hitting is not so good. All right, now Cleveland. All right, so they're the home team, so we're going to add 1 to this. So that 12 turns into a 13. And yes, so they will be 1 on the offense, so that's good for them. The pitching is going to be 11, 10. Ooh, good thing we added the 1. And so their pitching will be -1. So Cleveland's ready to play. Cleveland is ready to play. And a 7, yep, their relief pitching is -1. So how this shakes out is Boston will be -1 the entire game. So they can't get a 20. Cleveland will be 0 the entire game on the rolls. All right, let's play. So the Red Sox they're 0-1, 0-2, and now they're 1-2 on the season if I'm playing 78. All right, let's see how they do. Again, we need rolls of better than 11. And, a 20, but they're -1. So they can't get the bonus, but they will get 19 on this first roll in the first inning, and that'll be 3 runs. So the Sox start off strong with a 3-run first inning. And a 10 plus or minus 0 is just a 10, so it's going to be no runs for Cleveland. All right, we go to the top of the second. Red Sox at a 4. That'll be absolutely nothing. 4 minus 1 is a 3, by the way. Cleveland with a 5. That'll be nothing. Red Sox in the third. A 9 minus 1 is 8. That'll be nothing. 14 for Cleveland in the third. 14 for Cleveland in the third, and that will be nothing. So 3-0 Sox as we go to the fourth. A 5 minus 1 is a 4, and that is nothing. 18 in the fourth. That's going to be some runs. 18 in the fourth, and that's going to be good for 2 runs for Cleveland. So it's 3-2 now as we go to the fifth. Sox with absolutely nothing. Bottom of the fifth for Cleveland. 1 is nothing. So we're going to go to the sixth. Now, let me check here. So it's 3-2. So both pitches can still stay in the game. Again, this is my thing here. Is I just figured out a way to bring in the relief pitcher so I could keep it the same for both teams, because sometimes bringing the relief pitcher is a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. And so I don't want to, like Apple, you don't want to leave the guy in too long because he's just a good pitcher and the relief pitcher's worth. It kind of skews the game. So I'd come up with my own thing. You guys come up with your own. This feels like fascinating baseball from Al Wilson. It's a little bit like that. It's inning by inning, just reading off a chart. If you've ever played his 2-minute drill football game, this is very similar. I love that game. 20 for the Red Sox. But again, -1. It's a 19. So a 19 in the sixth inning is 2 more runs for the Sox. So now they're up to 5. It's 5-2. Cleveland needs to come back here. That's a 19 for Cleveland in the sixth. And 19 for Cleveland in the sixth inning is going to be... That's going to be a pair of runs as well. So good comeback here. So now it's 5-4 Red Sox. And so if they've given up 5, I got to take them out after the sixth. So the relief pitcher's in But Cleveland. But again, it won't matter because they're exactly the same, and it's for both teams actually. So there's going to be no differing adjustments because of the relief pitcher here. They're the same. So the Sox are still rolling -1, and a 14 is a 13 in the 7th. Does that get them anything? No. They would need a 17 to get runs, and -1 they'd need an 18. All right, so it's 5-4 now. Bottom of the 7th. Oh, 15. Is that going to get Cleveland anything in the 15? No. So close. A long fly balls caught at the warning track. We go to the 8th. 17 -1 is a 16 in the 8th. And a 16, that's going to be a squeaker. He's going to get 1. So 6-4 Red Sox. Cleveland, nothing doing. We go to the top of the 9th. Red Sox, 6. Cleveland, 4. Sox. Oh, they get nothing. Last chance saloon here. And they get an 11, and that's going to be the final score. They don't get anything. So the Sox, 3, 5, 6. They will win here 6-4, and they will get to 2-2 on the season. And in real life, that was a 5-4 win for the Tribe. All righty. I'll do a couple more here. I'm enjoying myself. I haven't played anything in a long time. All righty. So Boston. Now, can I roll? I'm 0 for 4 rolling here for the offense. And make it 0 for 5. 0 for 5. The Red Sox are starting off cold. I just can't roll anything good. Oh, boy. And their starting pitching is going to be terrible, too. Relief is going to be okay. So the relief will be, they'll get the -1 for the relief. Cleveland now. I got a 13 here, and they will be a power of 1. Oh, no. Actually, they're going to be. I might be screwing this up here. Hang on a sec. If you get that, so check Cincinnati's starting pitching right now. I might be messing this up. The instructions have always screwed me up on this game. All right, so okay, no, I think I'm correct. It's always a 0, and if you get the parentheses, then you get that number, I believe. No, I think I'm doing it okay. I think I'm doing it right. All right, so sample gain here. Yeah, no, I'm doing it correct. I'm doing it right. Let me see. I'm just checking the notes here. So Philadelphia's starting. I'm just looking at the sample game. So there. All right. So the Philadelphia starting. Okay. So it's either 0 or it's a number. I just wanted to double check that. Yeah, it's either 0 or it's the number on here, and it can go from -2 to +2. All right. So let me roll for the starting pitching. Yeah, it's going to be good for Cleveland. So that's going to be 1. Right. I'm starting to second guess myself here. Because if it's a 0, it only checks for the home team. And it would go to 1. Yep. Okay. I think that's correct. And now the relief pitcher is no. It'll be 0. All right. So let me get my adjustments now for this game. Boy, I was doing a double take. You ever do that? You ever play a game? You ever do a game and you wonder if you're playing it correctly after playing it for so long? All righty. So Boston will be -1 against the starter and 0 against the relief. Cleveland will be 1 and then 0. So we do have a couple of things to keep in mind in this one. So the Sox are 2-2 right now. 0-5 now. Yeah, no, yeah. I needed 12 or less to get the Red Sox a +1 on the offense, and 5 times in a row I went 13 or higher. All right, so let's kick things off here. So the Sox are -1. And so they're going to get absolutely nothing here in the first inning. Cleveland, they're going to add 1, and that's still nothing. Sox, a 15 -1 is a 14. Oh, they just missed it, so they don't get anything here. Cleveland, 14 +1 is a 15, and nope, nothing for them. Third inning, Red Sox is absolutely nothing. Third inning, Cleveland, nope, nothing. So we're scoreless through 3. 17 -1 is a 16 for the Sox in the fourth. And that's going to be good for 1. So they'll scratch across a run here. And Russell's laughing about that. Yeah, I doing everything fine, and then all of a sudden I just did a double take, and I'm like, am I subtracting, or it starts at 0, and you can move to that number if you roll. But I'm like, well, what if do you subtract 1? No, it's a 0. Pretty sure you start at 0, and you can roll. You can go up or down, is what it is. So if you get the rating, then you're good to go. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. All right, so let's go to the bottom of the fourth. Oh, 15 +1, 16. And that's going to be good for 1. So we are tied at 1-1 as we go to the fifth. Sox, that's going to be a 13 for the Red Sox in the fifth. And that's going to be nothing. 1-1, bottom of the fifth. Uh-oh, that's a 20. That's going to get them some big runs here. That's what they needed. So that's going to get them 3. That's going to get them a minimum of 4. And they're going to get 4. So 4 runs in the fifth blows this open. It is 5-1. And now if you've given up 5, you can go to the 6. So this is the last inning for this guy here. Okay. So the Red Sox now will be putting in their relief pitcher here in the 7th. And it's going to remain the starter for Cleveland, which is good for them because it's a -1 for the Red Sox. 12 in the 7th is going to get us absolutely nothing. So now the reliever's in, so they lose the 1 and they go to 0. So it's going to be an even roll, which is 12, and that's still not going to get us anything, though. So 5-1 Cleveland. 5-1 Cleveland. And we go to the top of the 9th. Sox are going to need something huge here. And they'll get 15. I think, let me see. So it's 1. So if, oh, no, we got to go. The 9th is the reliever. So it's going to be an even roll. So a 16 for the Sox in the 9th is 1. They'll get 1. They're going to fall short. So the Sox are not starting off good here. They get 2 runs. They give up 5. So they fall to 2 and 3 as they head back home. And who do they play at home here? So they'll be playing Texas. They'll get 3 games against Texas, but they're finally home. So Texas comes into Boston. And so now Texas will be rolling first. And so, their offense is a +2. So that's like really good if I can get the roll. So Texas is a 13. And now I roll low. So Texas will have 2 offense. Are you kidding me? Yikes. And Texas starting pitching. 14 is the number. Yes, so their starting pitchers are -2. Oh, boy. How good was Texas this season? They're going to smoke us. Texas was 87 and 75. Boston won this game in 10 innings, but man, I don't know how we're going to do this at -2. All right, what is the relief pitching? I got a 14. No, so the relief pitching will be 0 because it would have been -2. Ooh. So they're almost maxed out. This is about almost as good as you can get, is what I just rolled. All right, so the Sox, 1 to 14. Come on, man. Let's not make it 0 for, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Let's not make it 0 for 6. Oh, they got it. Fine. So the Sox will be +1 on the offense. Hooray. 1 to 14. Nope. Their starting pitching will be 0. And I got a 1 to 15. Yep. So their relief pitching will be -1. Oh, boy. All right. So here we go. Let's take a look at the adjustments here. So for Texas, they're going to add 2 to the starting pitcher and add 1 to the relief pitcher. Sox are going to -1 against the starting pitcher and then add 1. So that's kind of different. That's something different here. All righty. So Texas will lead us off here. Where's Texas? Texas is over here. And a 2, even if they add 2, it's still going to be absolutely nothing. And the Red Sox with a 15 -1 is a 14. And that's going to be good for 1. So the Sox will go up 1-0 here after 1. Ooh, a 4 + 2 is 6. That's still nothing for Texas. And the Red Sox, the 13 -1 is a 12. And nope, that's not anything. So it's going to be 1-0 Sox still. Texas, nothing in the third. Red Sox, 14, because I have to subtract 1. That 15 turns into a 14. And in the third inning, no, nothing. Just missed that. And Texas now with a 7 is nothing. Boy, so they're rolling terrible here. Sox -1. A 13 in the fourth is nothing. 1-0 Sox. 6 + 2 is an 8. That's nothing still. Boston with nothing as well. We go to the 6, so we're going to keep the starting pitchers in. 9 + 2 is 11. That's still going to be nothing, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nobody gets anything on an 11 right now. Boston, subtracting 1 from 7 is a 6, so that's nothing. So we go to the 7th. 1-0 Red Sox. 7 + 2 is a 9. That is nothing. Red Sox, an 18 -1 is a 17 in the 7th inning. And a 17 is good for 1. Oh, Bailey, they needed all of that. So it's 2-0 Red Sox. Can they hang on here? In the 8th, we're going to keep the starting pitcher in, which is actually not good for news for Boston. And up, that's all right. Nothing there. So the Sox in the bottom of the 8th. Now they've given up 2, so we're going to keep the starting pitcher in, so it's still going to be -1, and that'll be nothing. All right, top of the 9th, 2-0 Sox, and we're going to keep the starting pitcher in, see if we can get the shutout, and he will. And the Red Sox win this one at home over Texas. They get the shutout. It's 2-0, and they're 3-3. How about that? How about that? And hear the guy from This Week in Baseball. How about that? All right. So Texas, Boston, one more time. I'll just fill out the sheet and we'll call it a night. All right. So Texas rolling 16. No. So instead of being +2, they're going to be a 0. That's a big swing. Woo. 14 for the pitcher. Yes. So there'll be a -2 again for pitching. And relief is 14 as well. And no, the relief's going to be a 0. So they're not bringing their best. Not bringing the best here. As Gary comes by. Oh, we got a couple of Garys here. Very nice. Do we have more than one ID? Hopefully we don't have more than one ID in here. Holy cow. That would be something else, right? They have 2 IDs. All right, the Red Sox. Can I roll again? Can I roll under 14? Yes. All right. So the Sox will be +1. How about a 14 again? 14 or less. Yes. All right. So their starting pitching is -1. And now a 15 left for relief. And yes, so that's the best the Sox can do is +1, -1, and -1. So the Sox have the advantage here. You are perfect just the way you are. All right, so let me get my adjustments now. So for Texas, they'll be -1 against the starter and -1 against the relief pitcher. So they're -1 the whole game. The Red Sox will be -1 against the starter and +1 against the relief pitcher. Okay, so the only difference really in this game is the Texas offense is not quite as good. All right, so they shut them out last time. Let's see if they can improve. They're 3-3 right now on the season, and a 15 -1 is a 14 for Texas, and nope, that's not going to get them anything. That was a nice effort, but they come up empty-handed. And a 9 for the Sox -1 is an 8, so that'll be 0. Texas in the second, 12 -1 is going to be absolutely nothing. Bottom of the second, a 10 -1 is a 9, that's nothing. 16 -1 is a 15 in the third, and that gets them 1. So Texas is on the board with a run. Red Sox need a high number here. Ooh, they're going to get the 18 in the third, and that 18 in the third is going to be good for 1. So we're tied at 1-1. That's going to be nothing. That's going to be nothing. We go to the fifth. It's 1-1. It's whoever gets the next highest number here is probably going to win this one here. And well, we go to the sixth. 15 -1 is a 14 in the sixth. That's probably good for 1. No, Texas, nothing, it says. Absolutely nothing in the sixth. So nice try. And a 5 for the Sox is nothing. Boy, it's a pitcher's duel here. It's 1-1. And that's a 2. That's nothing. Come on, Red Sox. No, nothing. We go to the eighth. And we're going to keep both pitchers in till the ninth because of my little rule here. Well, that's a 14, though. And a 14 in the eighth for Texas is still nothing. Oh, boy, we could be looking at extras here. Sox now, nothing. So we go to the ninth, and we're going to go to the relief pitcher now. So this is good news for the Red Sox. So Texas is still -1. Texas is still -1. And that's a 12. And that's going to be nothing. All right, so the Sox now against the relief pitcher is +1. So here's how this shakes out. In the ninth, I need to roll 14 or higher to win the game. 14 or higher, and that's a 7. So we got extra innings coming up here. And so we're still -1. 17. That's going to get some runs in, though. That's going to be good for 1 run here in the 10th. So the Texas... Oh, that's the wrong one over here, right? Over here. So Texas goes up 2-1. Okay, the Sox in extras, we're adding 1. So they're going to need 15 or better on the roll. And no, they will lose this one. So Texas, even though they had less of an advantage over here, Texas wins this one. So the Sox fall to 3 and 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. What were they in real life at this point? They were 4 and 3. Looks like they won all 3 against Texas. And so they're not doing well. All right, we'll finish the one last game against Texas and call it a night here. All right, so we're looking for 13 or less. And, we get the 13, so Texas will be a +2 on offense. That is a huge advantage. It really is. And the pitching is good, too, so it's a -2. And the relief pitching is good as well. So that's about as good as you're going to get here. -2 and 2. That's the highest and the lowest. Now, the Red Sox, okay, well, they'll be 1 on offense, so that's not terrible. And nope, they're going to be 0 starting pitching. And the relief is, the relief will be -1. All right, so what are our final adjustments here? So it's going to be, 2 and 1. And the Sox will be -1 all day. Lovely. This one's probably going to go to Texas. But I like how simple this game is. It's a little funky setting this up. I had to read the directions a few times. Even the last time I played, I got a little confused. setting it up. But once you get going, it's just a 20-sided die. All right, Texas. And an 8. That's going to be nothing. Red Sox, bottom of the first. 13 minus 1 to 12, and that's going to be nothing. Texas, nothing in the second. Boston, nothing in the second. We go to the third. And Texas with nothing. And Boston, the 14 for Boston in the third. And nope, that's not going to get them anything in the third. Texas, nothing in the fourth. In the fourth for Boston, 12 is not going to get them anything. Oh, I need to be adding 2 to Texas, but that's still not getting them anything, I don't think. Yeah, 10 is still nothing. They've been rolling really low. 19, that's an 18 for Boston in the fifth. That'll get them 1. Yeah, so Boston will get 1 in the fifth, so they take the lead here. 7 still. Even adding 2 is not getting them any runs. I hope I didn't screw them out of anything. Nothing there. So we go to the 7th, so it's still 1-0, so we're going to keep the starters in. How long would it take to play a complete season? Well, I don't know, just add up how many minutes it takes me to play a game, and then multiply is basically what it is. So nothing for Texas. Sox, a 14 in the 7th. Does that get them anything? No, it doesn't. So still 1-0. 3 and the 2 is 5. And nothing for the Sox. We go to the top of the 9th. Sox trying to shut out Texas here. So let's see. So they're down by 1 in the 9th, and they're adding 2. So I need at least a 15. And no, I don't get it. And the Sox will win this one 1-0. And they'll be 4-4 here in my replay. And that is that. And like I said, I did print out the National League too. It was a terrible sequence of rolls, wasn't it? So I got, again, it's just a spreadsheet, and I just printed it out as a PDF and added my own little chart here. And again, there's a handful of seasons, not a ton, but there's a handful of seasons. Let me get rid of this. And, I'll show you the sports replays. Where are we now? Show you those seasons again. So let's go to share my screen. And so if I go here, and I'll solo that out. If I can. Hang on a sec. Yeah, that's good enough. So as you can see here, this is over on sportsreplays.net. You go to downloads, page 3, and scroll down. Here's all the Mike Selock games. And down over here is the baseball, hit and run baseball. And he's got all these seasons here. Again, I picked up 67 through like 87, I think, is what I did. Not a ton of games, but he's got some. And he's got a lot of other fun stuff. This is a fun website to go to. I wonder if this is CFL. I'm wondering. I'm going to open this up and see if it's CFL. Yeah, that is Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Nice. Nice. Yep. I like this. I'm going to have to play some CFL football here. so anyway, I'll stop that, come back here. So that is that. Let me get my camera out of the way. So that's some Mike Selock stuff there. I enjoy the Mike Selock games. I really do. Now, again, they're free. They're fun. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming by. Again, all you need is this 20-sided die. And you play the whole game. Fun stuff. I had fun. I played 8 Red Sox games here tonight. And you know, it was an hour, but I was talking and setting up and reading instructions and the whole bit. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the heck out of that game. I love the 2-minute drill too. And I played that here on the channel as well. So anyway, so yeah, Mike Selock, hit and run baseball, sportsreplays.net. That's where you can find it. Download it, play it. Let me know what you think. I have some fun with that. I played some World Series with that and had a good time with it. And I don't know if I'll finish that Red Sox season, but I did bang out 8 games, So anyway, we'll talk to everybody later. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everybody that tuned in to episode 239 earlier. We had a nice long fireside chat, Ron and myself, talking to everybody here in the chat room. And that was that. So, all righty. Time for me to put everything back here and hit the sack. And we'll talk to you all later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.